idcwoodcraft.com.
Well, good evening, everybody.
Hello, party peoples. I'm just going to go ahead and call out the elephant in the room. We have Hamilton on with us tonight. Woo! Everybody say hello to Hamilton from CNCfiles.com.
Hello to Hamilton from CNCfiles.com.
Follows direction very well.
I know, right?
Very well. Very
Jump
good.
right in.
Starting off the evening well. Julianne, do we have any announcements from you tonight?
Well, as you all can probably notice, Commander-in-Chief is not present this evening. So you have both of us here to be with you, Liberty running the question Q&A show and me doing background grunt work. So give away the story.
If I had the power, I would.
That would be a lot to give away, a whole lot. Some of which may or may not make it to the move to a new location. We are currently in the process of going through the finance portion of buying a new location. Fun stuff. Ooh. A lot of paperwork, let me tell you. It's not as quick as we'd like it to be, but it's a process. Imagine. So as far as other announcements, I would say that we have a few new products that will be launching end of this week into early next week. Super awesome 3/8 inch compression bit will be out at the end of this week. Our insert surfacing bit plus replacement blades and replacement screws will be out next week. Yeah, it's just been the grind at IDC. Like we've been going with it. So yeah, that's about all I got.
What's the beautiful way to like stay up to date with y'all's like releases and stuff? Is it the email mailing list?
Yeah, that's actually our CNC Insiders list. It's our exclusive list where you get announcements for videos, new products, promotions. You could pretty much the insider scoop.
Nice. Cool.
I'll throw that link in the chat for our first.
I was going to say, Julianne will throw that in for anybody who hasn't joined that yet and is wondering the same thing, how to get on that list and how to get told first. Because, yeah, our list gets told first every time before we even release a video or make a post on Facebook or anything like that. So that's who we tell first. And then that also includes sales because with holidays coming up, we'll be having a couple more sales coming up. So, and that list will know first. Yes, drink. For those of you who don't know, the drinking game is whenever we ask Julianne to do anything or whenever Julianne pops in a link because she's ahead of us, we take a drink.
Stay hydrated, people.
Yeah. Got that beautiful Madison water tonight.
Ew.
Ooh. All right. So for those of you who don't know Hamilton, would you like to give us a little intro as to who you are, where you come from, why you're here?
Yes. All right. So my name is Hamilton. I run a YouTube channel, just Hamilton Dilbeck, and started doing CNC stuff a few years ago during COVID, like a lot of other people as well, and started learning and posting videos online. People started asking for files. And that sent me on a multi-year journey of trying to figure out how to provide files to people in a repeatable way that has brought us to here. So we have just opened up a marketplace that's completely custom, built from the ground up specifically for selling and buying CNC files. And it's been quite the bear to get ready. And we used to be kind of like a smaller store, but now we have grown into this huge thing where we've got designers. We put out brand new files every single day. Our files comes in multiple formats, all that kind of wonderful stuff. And over on my YouTube channel, we kind of promote a lot of the files as they come through, but there's no way we can make a video on every single one because the file river is flowing. But yeah, it's kind of me in a nutshell.
Wonderful. Awesome. And Julianne, of course, will link cncfiles.com below where you can find all those wonderful CNC files that Mr. Dilbeck can't even keep up with.
It's true.
All right. So tonight we are going to be focusing on the CNC files, passive income, and digital selling, of course, which, as he said, he has spent many years becoming the master of, which we just answered that question there, Greg. Who is this Hamilton guy?
Who's that Greg guy?
So if you have any questions on how to make a CNC file, how to make it sendable, repeatable, and passive income, so on, please put your comments below. We've already got a few to get started, but let us know. And Hamilton's got the scoop. He's got the
Heck yeah.
All right, so jumping right in here, we're going to see what Robert has to say. So if you buy a file, are you buying the design and the toolpath too? Question is, how do you know it will work with your machine and operating software? That's a wonderful question.
It's a great question. We get that question asked almost every single day. And that's because, I'm about to go on a tangent, but that's because 3D printing is incredibly easy, right? So you've got additive manufacturing over here where you take an STL, a very common file format, put it into a slicer, send it to your printer, and you're off to the races. There's a lot of very simplified things for people so the beginners can get into it. CNC machining is not that way, as I'm sure that most people here understand. It operates in silos. So you've got your specific machines, you've got your specific controllers, you've got your specific softwares, and every single one of those can and do talk to each other, but there's very rarely a fluid path. So when somebody wants to go on and purchase a CNC file, the traditional thing to do is to purchase an SVG, and then there's normally a PDF with that says, hey, use this type of bit and then run it this specific way in order to get these type of results. It's always very vague and very generalistic because no one knows what you're using. They don't know if you're using a Fox Alien or they don't know if you're using a Laguna. And that has been one of the more difficult nuts to crack when it concerns offering files pre-toolpathed on our site. So if you head over to the site right now, you can get any one of our files completely for free. If you're a brand new user, you get 1 credit. And I urge you to go and download one of our files to specifically see for yourself how different they really are. Because when it boils down to it, we still offer the SVGs where you can toolpath it yourself. And I highly encourage you to do that because you know your machine and what it's capable of. But we also do offer Carveco and Vectric files that are pre-toolpathed. Now, when you pre-toolpath a file and you hand it to somebody, they're normally not going to be overly impressed by how fast or how slow it's running because they have an idea of what their machine is capable of. But our files will get the file cut out and it will do a very, very good job. And if you've got a huge machine, you might be thinking, oh, this is a little bit slow. And if you've got a little tiny machine, it's not going to break your bits. So that's something that we've spent a lot of time really dialing in and figuring out, is making sure that we've got a standard for our designers to actually go by. So to the long-winded answer to your question is yes, you can buy them, either the SVG and toolpath them yourself, or you can buy the Carveco Vectric and then just save the G code, or as I recommend, get the toolpath one and then switch it over to your actual tool database, and then you'll already have your feeds and speeds baked in. We've already got the depth set out for your specific project. So got tons of stuff over there. So look at it yourself and you'll really see how we've got it all set up.
Wonderful. I will say from experience, I did an entire video just to focus on testing out a file from cncfiles.com and how easy it was to use. And yeah, I mean, I pulled the toolpath one for my Vectric. I put in my material information adjustments. And because we sell Cadence manufacturing bits, those were what was toolpathed into there. So I went ahead and pulled some Cadence manufacturing bits off the shelf and used those, and it went perfectly. I hadn't adjusted my feeds or speeds for my machine yet either. And again, I have a very small machine, and it went just fine. It went beautiful. So awesome. Highly impressed from experience myself.
Perfect. That makes me so happy because like it's been quite the road to get it to that place. But now that we're there, it's hopefully going to make things a lot easier for a lot of people.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring this one in. I really liked it. Greg, Hamilton, when you get in there and sign up, can you also sell your own files as a maker and also buy files? Also, do you have instructors or anything like that available? This is this and that are new.
Yes. So Greg is one of our instructors, and anybody can show up to the site and they can sell their files or they can sell their knowledge. One of the things that we've consistently been asked over the years is that people can sell their files alongside us. And this is the first time starting this month onward that we can reliably tell people that anybody can show up and sell their files on the site. Now, that sounds too good to be true, but it has taken us a long time to get to this point where you have an Etsy-like experience where Liberty could go create her own file. If she posted online, somebody says, oh, I really like that. She can actually post that thing in under 5 minutes, have a listing up, have her bank account connected, and never talk to me and get payouts exactly like you would expect through Etsy. Now, we also have that exact thing set up for instructors too. So if you did have specific knowledge and you wanted to be able to say that you sell like a session on how to set up your alt mill or run your first cut on an alt mill, you can definitely do that. And you can sign up. We've got private video chats. We've got recordings. We've got a lot of stuff set up so that you can find the right person to do, to learn the job that you want to do, even if that's just like one-on-one Vectric training. So we've got a really cool system, and I really worked very hard to make sure that our onboarding process is as simple as possible so that you're not overwhelmed thinking that you have to have all this crazy business information, because at the end of the day, we're selling digital files, and that gives us a lot of leeway that selling physical products does not. So it's way easier for people to set up a storefront and to be able to sell their stuff without feeling like they have to take out a loan and open up a brand new location for their business. It's very, very simple.
Beautiful. Why did you start CNCfiles.com?
I started CNCfiles.com a little bit out of frustration because I couldn't figure out how to get people exactly what they wanted when very few people knew what they wanted because of the lack of education in the CNC community when it concerns file formats and how things work. So when it boiled down to people wanting files, when I first started posting stuff online, somebody would see a bottle opener and they'd say, hey, can I have the files? And I'd say, awesome, I definitely will offer those to you. And then you get some people who might like watch the channel and they're really, really happy with the files. And there's a whole lot of like concessions. And then you get some strangers that don't know you that found your file on Etsy and they get really, really frustrated because they're like, this is trash. It doesn't work, X, Y, and Z. And people expect it to be pre-toolpathed when it's not. And they want the 3D printing experience. So then I went over and created something called CNC with Me. And that was a huge success for a very long time. And we had weekly lives where we were talking to people about how to actually toolpath things. And then we had weekly files coming out. And it still was not exactly the experience that I really wanted for people because we have more and more people wanting to teach, more and more people wanting to sell files. And that system just wasn't set up for us. So CNCfiles.com has been a long time in the making. And yeah, it started with a lot of frustration. And hopefully one of our goals is to create for quiet. So we want to be able to create things that are so good that people don't come back at us being like how or why or like have a bunch of questions, that they get it and then they can easily understand how to use it. Our PDFs are super simple, but they answer everything that somebody would need to know. And we've worked very hard to get there. So yeah, long answer is out of frustration.
Beautiful. Which is how some of the best things get created. I mean, with Garrett, it started kind of out of frustration for him too. You know, long story short, he couldn't find, you know, a beginner set of bits. And he just wanted somebody to just be like, this is what you need. Buy it. Get it. And so he went out and he's like, okay, well, what do I need? Somebody else is having the same frustration. And he's now the CNC bit man, or one of the CNC bit men.
Yep.
So
fixing problems.
All right. And then I am going to bring this up real quick. Tonight, if we are giving you any helpful information, if we're entertaining you in any sort of way, please hit that like button to let everybody else know that you're enjoying this content and your time here with us. If you spend the whole night, we might as well at least not be annoying you too much. So hit that like button, let us know so we can come back every week and bring up back amazing guests like Hamilton and give you all the information and wisdom that they have to delve into.
That was a really great ad read. That was like you practiced that a lot. Solid.
Thank you.
It's pretty much verbatim for her at this point. So we also got to throw out a thank you to Kimberly for the $10 for shipping for the prizes, if the prizes are physical. Hint, hint, hint.
There we go. All right. Next question we have tonight is from Wondering Star. If I can speak. If I would like to only buy a couple of files a year, can I buy a single file off the website, or do I need to be a maker member? $63 per year what is the best way to make a single file purchases?
Fantastic question. So we have had a lot of feedback over the years in trying to be able to serve people in a lot of different ways. The very short answer to this question is you can buy it as a single file. You can become a member and get credits monthly. You can purchase credit packs, which is the cheapest way in the long term if you're not wanting to be a member. Or we've got 3 different types of memberships to jump in, and all of those kind of scratch the itch of if you want to buy and sell. So they each are for different people. So I definitely wouldn't push everybody to all of a sudden become a Maker Pro Plus member, because that's for the people who are selling a lot of files, who really want the bare bones transaction fees that are associated with normally with like Etsy or Shopify or something. So the short answer is, if you see a file in there and you like it, just go and buy it. You can buy your single file format the way that you want to. Or if you don't want to become a member and you don't want to get set up for like a reoccurring payment kind of thing, which I know that a lot of people don't, you can just purchase credits if you want to, but we definitely want to make it accessible for everybody. In the past, we did have a exclusive membership. Everything was behind a paywall, and we had a lot of feedback from people who not only really liked it, but also from a lot of people who are like, I will never pay for a subscription ever. And I wish that I could see that, but I'm not going to do it. So we want to make sure that it was accessible for everybody how they want to be able to do it.
Wonderful. And speaking of the accessibility, what files work with VCarve Pro?
Vectric. So the .crv files, those will work with VCarve Pro. And all of our SVGs also can be imported in there. If you go onto any of the files, go ahead and just click on the listing. The second picture is a picture that shows the file format compatibility chart. And it will show you all the different softwares that are in use, normal in use for the CNC community. And then we've got the top, we've got our file formats, and then just a big old chart with X's and check marks and stuff. So you can see exactly what software you use and what file format it can import.
Beautiful. All right. Where does everyone doing 3D carvings get the wood panels, or do you do your own glue up? I know that doesn't necessarily have to do with our subject tonight, but I did want to bring this in because I'm curious from other people's answers as well. I have to glue up. I can never find wood thick enough for anything that I need, so I have to do glue ups left and right.
Yeah, I specifically do glue ups for mine. I know that if I'm doing something very big and it's going to get like painted or something, I specifically go out and buy rubber wood countertops. I know that at Lowe's, you can get those really cheap a lot of the times, and they often are being sold at lumber stores, and they're also being sold on Facebook Marketplace all the time too. So the issue with those is you're going to have a lot of joinery in there that's going to be like finger connected joinery in the very middle of it. But if you're doing very like wide pieces and not a ton of little tiny detail, and especially if it's going to be painted afterwards, the cost benefit to me is huge. You can get them in 1.5 inch thickness and sometimes even up to 32 inches wide. So like I buy mine in 16-foot lengths, and then I cut them up into 4-foot long sections, and I just have them here in the shop. So if you're going crazy like that, that's the crazy route. Otherwise, I really try and just have mine that are specifically going to fit into normal width lumber. So at the lumber yard, different types of wood are going to come in different widths that are like safe beyond cupping. So walnut, you can safely get up around like 9 inches, or if you're going for something like poplar, you might even be able to get something like 14 inches. So it really depends on what you're wanting to carve, but there's a lot of different options out there other than just Home Depot or Lowe's. But glue ups, I think, is the safest option.
Beautiful. And this is an update from Gary Lynn. Thank you for all the prayers. Hand is all healed up. Now it's about a 1 to 2 years of therapy before the hand is fully useful again. He ran his the hand through his table saw.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So he's been through the process of several different surgeries and everything to get everything repaired and functioning again. So
my condolences. I'm glad you're going so well. Wow.
Yep. All right, George, if I create a CNC file using AI, can I sell it?
So yes. I think that trademark stuff is something you should be very careful of, because as a marketplace, we have to be very aware of what's on our site and what is under trademark law. So like if you were going on and using like AI to relief tools, and then you had like Mickey Mouse and you're like, I love this Mickey Mouse, and you want to sell it on the site, we can't sell images of Mickey Mouse. There are a lot of very interesting and useful AI tools out there right now, and there's a lot that just don't work. So if somebody were to upload just a ton of very low effort things that we're constantly getting constructive feedback about, we would probably talk to that seller, and that might result in things being taken down. But with this huge wave of AI stuff, especially with the picture to relief functions that we have now and making things so quick, I think that it would be silly for me to just say like, oh, AI can't be on there. Keep a close eye on everything that pops on there, because we don't want to overstep trademark stuff, and that's a really big thing for us.
Beautiful.
All right, per the boss, I was going to say, Garrett would like us to do a visual of the website real quick. So
yes.
I was going to say, Hamilton, do you want to share screen, or do you want me to share screen? It can be
actually either. I would love for you to share the screen and see how you actually navigate through the site, because I stare at this thing all the time. Oh, you already had it open.
Yeah, I'm on it. All right. So when I hit the CNC file site, this is how it comes up. All I have to do, since I already set up a nice little account.
Perfect.
Pop over here and log right in. Whoops. Hold on. Let me make sure. Maybe I need to actually set it up. There was a question about, did we get the Google login problem fixed? And I think this may be
we've had some issues with Google authorization stuff, which has been a real downer. So we do know that is an issue right now, and very sorry. So hopefully that'll be fixed up very soon.
Yeah, so I think that's the problem I was having. But just really quick, once you hit the site, so over here on files, just gonna eyeball it, because it was really easy for Liberty to actually, pick out what file she wanted. We went through the purchase process, got the email, and she was running on it.
Nice.
So these are all, correct me if I'm wrong, these are all CNC files plus other people, correct?
Exactly.
So you already have contributors here.
Yeah, so if you're going down, you'll see those green things that say credit file on them. Credit files are our house brand, meaning that they can be purchased with cash, or they can be purchased with credits. If they do not have that little green denote on them, that means that they are from a member, or not a member, but just a person that is selling files on the site. So we've got a lot of people who have uploaded a lot of files on the site. So if you've got files for sale, please upload them on the site. We'd love to see you over there. And we do things like we feature people who are putting up files. And then at the end of this month, I'm going to be picking 10 files on the site that we did not make. And I'm going to be cutting them out in my shop and making a YouTube video to promote some files that I really like on there. And there's honestly some really creative things on there. even some files that like we've been working on for a long time that look like we're directly ripping people off now because they put things up that I've had to scrap because there's so many cool creative things that people are making. So up there, you can see that you're clicking around the 3D reliefs. We really wanted to be able to show off how easy it is to find exactly what you're looking for. So we can have people jumping in, and there's a lot of those things that still need a ton of files. So if you are a member, we do send out a thing every month that talks about kind of like the needs of the site, talking about how many files each category actually has in it and where files actually need to be, people's search terms that they're going through and how they're finding files. Because one of the things that I've found about CNC files is there is a huge lack of just a specific place for people to be able to go and be like, here's where the files live. And it's really easy to say, oh, Etsy has 1 billion files on it. But when you really start looking around, A, it's hard to find them. And B, it's really hard to figure out exactly what they're offering to you. So you see right there, you're on the Phoenix. You can see it comes in STL and RLF. RLF is just Carveco's native file format. And you see exactly what you're purchasing from the person, all very like upfront.
Okay, cool. Say, yeah, pretty pretty straightforward on this.
That 205th anniversary flag right there from Chris has been selling like crazy. I've been seeing just notifications come up all the time. People have been finding it and buying it, and it's fantastic.
Awesome.
Is there any plans for a commission-based system?
Commission-based system. So it really depends on, so Chris's file right there. I forget what it just said. Let's just say it said $10. So if you go, you do not have to be a member or anything in order to sell your files. It's something that was very important to me, that you could just show up, upload your stuff, not pay a monthly fee. You don't pay any type of listing fee like you do on Etsy, and then you're not having to pay any type of advertising fee. Anybody can show up, dump their files on there, and have them up for sale forever. So if you're selling it for $10, the free tier is you take 80% plus the transaction fee, which really depends on Stripe's credit card interpretation stuff. And then, so we do 20%, you do 80%. Once you become a member, that goes down significantly, depending on the type of membership tier that you choose. So even the cheapest membership takes that down to 10%, so half off, and then it goes down to 5% and then 3%. So if you have been doing this for a long time and you do sell files in bulk, we really wanted to be able to make it where you could become a member, pay a specific fee, and then have the lowest transaction fees. If you had a Shopify store, it would be cheaper to sell with us than to sell on your own Shopify store. Because I've been there. I've sold through Patreon, I've sold through Kajabi, I've sold through Shopify, and I wanted to be able to make a site that was just a really seller-forward site. We want to treat our sellers really well, because we believe that if sellers are treated well and they put up really good files, then the right people will be able to show up to be able to find and purchase those files. So yes, the entire thing is technically a commission-based system, but if you're asking about having people create files to sell through us, through our credit file system of our brand, we do not have that right now.
Beautiful. Approximately how many files do you currently have available at this point?
So you can just go to the front page and see it is live and it goes up all the time. So we currently have, as far as credit files are concerned, over 1,000. And then we've got a few vendors that have jumped in before launch that have uploaded a bunch of their things, and we're getting new vendors every single day coming on and being able to upload their files. So one of the fun things about a custom website is every once in a while things are a little bit funky. So we actually have more files on the site than it says at the very front page, and we're clearing that up right now. But we've got 1,000 credit files on there currently. One of the things that we really wanted to do is be able to give a lot of files, and it's really easy to pop up and say, okay, well, we offer a Christmas ornament. And then the second that you show this, somebody's like, oh, that's a cute dog. My dog doesn't look like that. So they want 50 different versions of this Christmas ornament. So we make 50 different versions of that Christmas ornament. And we're really refining how we release our files so it doesn't look like we're only releasing Christmas files for dogs, right? So we are actively trying to make sure that we are releasing fresh, new files, and also making sure that we're releasing relatable files. So we release files based on the events that are coming up. Obviously, things like Christmas, but also things like Mother's Day, right? So we've got vector libraries that we sell. So you can download those vector libraries, use them in your own designs, and even use those vectors in order to create designs to sell on the site.
Awesome.
And it's only going to grow from there. I was going to say,
yeah.
Also, to everybody who's joined us, welcome. We are here with Hamilton from cncsfiles.com. For those of you that have popped in with some of your questions, some of those have already had the answers to them. So just really quickly, all CNC Files information, you can sign up for a lovely membership. Yes, you can get instructors to help you along the way. Vectric and Carveco friendly all around. Instructions, PDF versions. Yeah, it's
toolpaths.
Yep, pretty easy. And you do have, they are more than readily answered by any of the community members or Hamilton himself. So welcome, and hello. Hang with us for another hour.
Heck yeah.
Yes, I was going to say we were getting a few, it seems like new joiners type of questions, and about time to run back through. So I appreciate you doing that.
I do see somebody that is reiterating on what was being talked about for the commissions. So what you were saying is that you were wondering if people can create custom files on the site. So that is something that we really want to be available, so that, let's say Liberty shows up, she wants somebody to be able to create a specific file for her on the site, and she sees that Hamilton sells custom files. How does she interact with me in order to get that file? Now that is a barrel of monkeys, because normally people approach and don't really know what they want, but people really know what they don't want. So if Liberty comes to me and says, I want a picture of my dog, I use some AI tools and I say, here's a picture of your dog. She says, that's great. I want an ornament. I say, okay, here's your ornament. And she says, oh, well, I want it diamond shaped. And I say, okay. And I go back and I create a diamond shape. She says, not really that stubby. I want it a little bit longer. That's a lot of back and forth. So when I wanted to be able to create the site, I wanted to be able to create things as easy as possible. And we also want to standardize things as easy as possible too. So the very long answer to that is currently we do not have the ability for people to be able to offer custom files in the way that we want. You technically can go and create a listing right now and say custom files available and set your own price, and somebody can get in touch with you and you can deal with that the way that you want, but not in a way that we have really created a system for both people to be able to walk away knowing that they're really happy with the experience. There's a lot of ways that that can end up poorly for the buyer and the seller. And we want to make sure, first and foremost, that the seller is really, really protected in a way that helps them thrive to be able to give the buyer the best files possible. So it's coming. And if you are a seller, all you have to do is upload 10 files on the site, and then you will get invited to our Secret Sellers Club, which is just going to be a very short webinar-based focused Q&A kind of thing, where we sit down and we talk about the frustrations of selling files and how we can make things easier on cncfiles.com. So if you do want to be a part of that, show up to the site, upload 10 files, you'll get invited, and then we'll be able to really talk through what it's going to be like to actually offer commission-based services on the site, because it is a different bear than just offering pre-done files and saying, hey, you're buying a product, this is what I'm offering you, versus you're buying something that maybe you will or will not like.
Awesome. And do early bird lifetime members have the ability to sell at the lower transaction fees?
Yes. So the way that we are able to fund creating this custom website is about, I don't know, half a year ago, we told people to sign up to become lifetime members. We no longer offer lifetime membership, but I do have a bit to say about that in a second. But yes, lifetime members, you automatically have the lowest transaction fees. If for some reason you're a lifetime member here and you have not heard from me, we have had some trouble with our email system getting in touch with people. So check your email if you're a lifetime member and you haven't heard from me. And if nothing's there, send us an email over to business@cncfiles.com and we will get you sorted out. If you're a lifetime member, make sure that you know that you need to set up a brand new account because it is a brand new site and we can't pull over all your old data from this new site. And then send us an email to business@cncfiles.com. So to answer your question, yes, you do have the lowest transaction fees. Thank you for being a lifetime member.
Awesome.
And we have had a lot of people reach out and asking about something that's actually you can't see on the site right now, but we are currently working on, is that if you become a Maker Pro Plus annual member, you get unlimited downloads on the site for the year. So however long you have that, you will also get unlimited downloads on the site. We're switching over the system to make sure that that is a part of things. That is currently not being talked about anywhere. This is the first time that I've ever said that publicly. But if you want to become a member and you don't want to deal with the credit system, you just want to say, I'm a member, I get to download any credit file that I want to, then become a Maker Pro Plus annual member, not monthly, but annual. And once we have all that switched over in the system, it does take time. We've got to build that all out. Once we've done that, we'll send out a email blast to everybody, making sure that they know, but your credit count should turn into a little infinity symbol and just download to your heart's content. So once again, if you're getting credits and you're becoming a member, that is specifically for credit files. So we can't give away other people's files, and we don't want to give away other people's files. So if Liberty goes and works really hard on creating a file, we are not going to say, oh, whoops, we've got members, and just start giving that away for free. You got to pay for Liberty's file.
Awesome. Say a customer is looking for someone. Okay, we answered that. We answered that. Wasn't that the wrong part anyways. If you have the secret sauce, why share your knowledge on this?
Because I want a place that actually thrives. And if you really want to know the quote unquote secret sauce, go to my channel and there's a video called Launch. Only like a few people have seen it. In that, I mentioned that I've got a secret video. In that secret video, it's an hour-long class about how to sell CNC files. And the reason that I have that out there and available right now is because I want really good sellers. I don't want people just to say, oh, I created a file, I put it up online, no one's buying it, no one makes money selling CNC files. I want to equip people to be able to sell their own files because it is laughable how few CNC files are actually out there. When you look at things like 3D printing, there is a mountain of files. When you look at things like CNC files, it is so, so small. I'm sure everybody's seen the alligator swimming 3D relief, right? I've carved it. Everybody's carved it. Who knows who actually made that file? If anybody knows the person who made that file, send me an email. I would love to meet that person because it's the most famous file out there, but it's being resold by everybody and their brother. So I wanted to be able to create a place where we can not only like keep stuff like that in check, keep the whole like buy 10,000 files for $8 kind of thing, and really settle down and offer really, really good files to a lot of people. I've got a team of people who are creating files all of the time, and we have new files coming out every single day. And I think that is a drop in an ocean of the need of what actually needs to happen out there so that we can make CNC as easy and accessible as 3D printing is.
Yep. Beautiful, beautiful. And we're going to bring in George's super sticker here. Thank you so much for your donation. For those of you who don't know, down where you're commenting, there's the little emoji spot, and then there's a little dollar spot. You can donate to our show via that. A lot of your donations go towards many different charities, including St. Jude's Children's Hospital, Missing Alexis Foundation, Wounded Warriors, Veterans Projects, and soon to be animal shelters and things like that as well. We take your feedback on those donations and we match every donation that is sent through as well. So we thank you so much for each and every donation. Please do donate. They go to good causes, they go to good people, and we match as well. So your efforts are doubled.
We also had Pascal donating. Listen to me say that. Pascal donating $20, saying that they enjoy the channel. We are here every week. Every single week on Wednesday, you will see our lovely smiling faces, be it holiday or high water, electric outage, Wi-Fi not loading. We're here.
The historic church across the street burning down over the last 24 hours.
What?
We're still here.
Oh, gosh.
Big news around our area. Our Trinity Methodist Church. Actually, the only thing that's left is the front steeple. The entire building collapsed, wall collapsed. Power was out last night too, and Monday night. So
wow.
And that is right across the street from where we're currently located.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. Been a harrowing ordeal for
Our street has been active the last 24 hours. We'll say that.
Become a popular sightseeing destination for everybody in the area.
So we're across the street. All of that's still all blocked off in front of the church. They had our road blocked off yesterday for about half the day, but we were still able to park here as like business owners and residents and everything like that. And then they removed those. So the only thing that's still truly blocked off road-wise is the road directly in front of the incident.
And as a safety note, make sure that you unplug your batteries after they're done charging. Make sure that your shops are actually wired for your machines that you're using correctly, because electricity is frightening, you all. Very frightening. It set 2 buildings on fire in our town. So please make sure that your electric is sufficient for what you are doing.
Yep, sufficient, keeping an eye on things, having surge protection, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Scary stuff.
Yes, sir, it is. All right. From Rich Bratcher. Okay, Hamilton, I have so many issues trying to send an STL or CRV file, as most email allow me to send only 25 MG. What's the workaround?
So I've got 2 answers for this. If you're talking about specifically on cncfiles.com, you should not be having that issue. Send me an email. If you're talking about the normal sending STLs or CRV files just to people or to try and sell them on Etsy, that's going to be an issue. You're normally going to have to create a Google Drive and upload that file to Google Drive and then send that to the person that you're sending something to. I've sold reliefs on Etsy before, for a lot of reliefs, and the standard of doing that is you have a Google Drive link, you upload your file to that link, you create a PDF that has a hyperlink on it, you sell that PDF to the person. So somebody would purchase your CNC file, they would open up a sketchy PDF, they would click a sketchy link, it would take them to the Google Drive, they would download whatever files you have available to them, which is easy because you get to switch them really easily, but they've got like a cap on how big your file size can actually be. We really made sure to address that specifically for cncfiles.com because we have those needs to be able to create really intricate STLs and stuff. So the standard way, the workaround is just be able to create a Google Drive link. There's a lot of transfer websites that I cannot remember right now, but I've always used Google Drive.
Awesome. If I have Carveco Pro, does my file get converted to be used with other software? Well, that's a good question. Like, as a seller, do you have to convert all your own stuff into all the different files?
Yes. I wish that there was an easy button when it concerned creating file formats. I genuinely do. Unfortunately, if you are going to be selling files, the nice part is if you're using VCarve Pro and you want to be able to sell toolpaths VCarve stuff, you can save it as a CRV file and you can upload that to the website. And there's absolutely no reason during that process why you should not be also saving the SVG and selling the SVG along with a PDF that talks about how you toolpath your own files. I specifically would rather toolpath my own files because I want to make sure that it's exactly the way that I want it before I run it on my machine. And I would definitely tell everybody else too that that skill is invaluable in CNC machining, understanding how to assign toolpaths to vectors. But if you're selling on the site, that's why things can be a little bit difficult, is because different file formats different work for different machines. And then you've got to save your G code specifically for your controller, for your CNC machine. So there's a lot of hoops to jump through in the CNC world, which is why we offer so many of them.
Awesome. Follow up to that. Do you guys, within your one-on-one, kind of train how to make a workable file?
In the future, specifically for members, we'll have like a training area where it'll just be me sitting down, creating very long, in-depth, honestly quite boring, but very informative videos. Going through all the details of what it's like to be able to have a file and then be able to sell that file. Unfortunately, creating a CNC file is not the same as creating a CNC file to sell. So for me, I might be able to go through and create this thing. And if I want to make this for myself, all of a sudden cut it out, good to go. But in order to sell this, it has a few different requirements to make sure that other people can have success with it. And most of those requirements are just instructions. So if you're wanting to sell stuff and you're thinking that it sounds like really difficult, it's really not. Just make sure that you tell people what you did in order to find success with it, and let them know that they also probably need to make sure that things are correct for their own CNC machine. So yeah, we will have some more training material available. We've got a lot of the business behind things, but not a lot of the technical, this is exactly how you set up a file to sell. And if you are interested in that, I would highly recommend to go on, create an account. You get 1 free credit, download the file, and just take a look at it, because a file is worth 1,000 words at the end of the day. And once you start poking around, you'll understand how we've set ours up and what we're showing our customers at the end of the day, and why we're not including a mountain of information, but specific information so that people can get exactly what they're looking for.
Awesome. A little more housekeeping for those of you who have joined us recently. We have Hamilton Dilbeck here from CNCfiles.com joining us tonight as our special guest, sharing all the information that he has learned from being a CNC file expert. And he is sharing his website and his wealth and knowledge with us tonight. If you have any questions on CNC files or how to obtain CNC files from CNCfiles.com, the one-on-ones they provide, and all the more that they have on there, put your questions below. Another couple of things before you put your question, put a bunch of question marks in front of that so Julianne can easily spot that and star that for us to ask tonight.
But I've got some that didn't have question marks in front of them already starred. Do not enter your questions again. We may be getting duplicates. We will cut off questions in probably about 10 minutes, though, because we're coming up on the top of the hour.
Coming up on the top of the hour, and we're getting a good queue of questions going here. So
awesome.
What are the current top sellers?
Oh, so a cool thing is on our site, you can go and you can look at views. Views are a very good interpretation of what's actually selling, and more importantly, what people are interested in. So I highly suggest people, if you're looking and thinking, what should I actually create out there? I don't know what to create, but I want to start selling CNC files. Just start looking at what we're doing. We are putting files out all the time. I genuinely believe that the lack of files is so astounding that just see, okay, they're selling ornaments and maybe they don't have any that are, I don't know, parrots, like create some ornaments that are parrots and put those things up. So like right now, if you wanted to be able to see the current top sellers, go and look at views. It's a very, very good indicator of what's selling. As the marketplace grows and as it starts getting a lot more traffic, we're really going to start deciding if we want to show views versus downloads and things like that. But right now, since it is brand new, it is launched this month. We are currently in launch month, and this is when we're having all of our huge deals on memberships. We're keeping it at views so that everybody can get a good read on what people are actually looking at on the site.
Awesome. Do you have a cost scale for the types of files that are being sold, i.e. vectors only, vectors, or toolpaths?
Yes. So we've standardized all of our cost when it concerns actually our files. So if you're going to buy an SVG, it's going to be $10. If you're going to buy something that is toolpaths, so Carveco or Vectric, it's going to be $20. We also have options to be able to purchase everything. So if you are uploading multiple files, you can have a bundle, but you can sell your files for cheaper than we sell our files for. The reason we sell them at our price is because we put a lot of work into them. We believe in them. We know exactly what we're selling, and we believe that's the cost of them. But you can also sell your files for cheaper than that. We know that a lot of people get on there and they get a little bit nervous about trying to understand how expensive to sell things. So we do have minimums of $5 to make sure that you are actually selling your files at a price that is worth selling it for. But we've pretty much standardized what we offer and how we offer it. So you can look at our reliefs, that's specific. If you look at our vector libraries, there's a specific price, and that's not really going to fluctuate too much.
So is there a limit on how much you can get paid for how many files you sell?
No.
So you can actually probably rake in quite a lot if you have some legitimate, like, good selling files, like
yes,
creative content there.
That's one of the things that I think that most people don't really understand about CNC files is it's infinitely scalable. So if you put in the effort, which it's a lot of work in order to sell files, but if you put in the effort of creating a really good file that is made for quiet, meaning that somebody downloads it, they're happy, they leave, they're not asking a ton of questions, it really can scale a ton. I know a lot of people that sell 400 files and only 3 of them sell, but those 3 sell like crazy and they're making thousands of dollars a month. I genuinely believe in the bottom of my heart that a jet ski payment is $300 a month. And if you have CAD CAM software, you can make $300 a month selling your CNC files and you can have a jet ski. I don't even think it's that hard to do. I just think that most people don't understand how to do it and they don't have a specific place to do it. Etsy is not meant for people like us. Shopify isn't even meant for people like us. CNCfiles.com is specifically meant for people like us to be able to thrive. So when it concerns being able to sell a ton of stuff, that's why we have the specific Maker Pro Plus for sellers. If they want to be able to join, they already know that they're selling a ton. They want their transaction fees to be as low as possible. And they know that that annual cost not only is incredibly cheap because of the transaction fees otherwise on any other platform, but if you're a Maker Pro Plus member, when you go to the files page on our site, there's a little toggle where you just look at Maker Pro Plus members. So it's kind of like a built-in advertising specifically for the people who are doing it kind of like professionally, who are selling their files and know the value of what it's like to be able to sell their files.
So this is like from beginner friendly, as long as you're detailed, to our big CNC file sellers. Like I know there's a couple community members that are currently on Etsy, and honestly, even Garrett's on Etsy for some of his files. Mm-hmm. So this is a range of anybody can do it, correct?
Anybody can do it. We want people to be able to sell their files first with us because they've always been intimidated to do it somewhere else and be like, oh, this is an easy way for us to get in the door. To be able to open up an account in less than 5 minutes, connect everything up, and have your file available. We've made it incredibly simple. And then our upload process for people who want to be able to go and see it, you don't even have to open up a storefront. You can just press sell a file and go through the process of uploading a file. And it won't be live on the site until you connect your Stripe account. But you can go through the process and see how easy it is to upload. And especially when you get to the file format section, you start getting in all those menus and understanding how to upload things. It's really easy. And if you're intimidated by that, you can go and check out the community tab over on cncfiles.com. And then I've got a video up there that just says how to sell your files or something like that. It's 20 minutes long. And you can sit there and understand how to upload your file formats. Don't feel like you have to have everything, every single format available in order to sell your files. So many people only sell SVGs and a PDF with toolpathing instructions because they don't want to hear back from people saying, oh, well, you toolpath this file and it wrecked my machine. The vast majority of people only sell vectors with a PDF telling people how to do it themselves. So if you're wanting to start, that is definitely the way to start.
Beautiful. And I'm going to follow that up with, how do these files, how do you compete with these ads boasting 5,000 files for $9.95?
I don't know. I think there'll always be people out there who steal and try and profit off of other people's work. I don't really view myself as competing with them at all because we sell a very good product and they sell whatever they're selling.
And a lot of times what you'll run into is not only stolen files, but I mean, how can you tell how many of those 5,000 files are going to be usable?
Are you really going to go through all 5,000? Or are you going to want to find the one thing that you look at and say, yeah, I want to make that? You don't want to buy a whole chunk of stuff that it's like Storage Wars. You're buying a pile of things that you don't know what's in there. Here, you know what's in there.
Yes. There's a lot to be said about that. And most of those people are very well known in the community of scammers. And, most people call it out in forums and everything. And, but they will always exist.
Yep. And here's another good one to bring in right here is, can we sell the files on there being in Canada?
So specifically Canada, no. I'm just kidding. Anybody in the world can sell on cncfiles.com as long as Stripe can work. So that is like 95% of the world can sell on cncfiles.com. So the reason we went through Stripe specifically is because it is very proven and there are a lot of safeguards for sellers built into it. So there's a lot of payment processors that we could have used. Stripe is really the best for our purposes and how we've customized the site. So yeah, we've got Canadian sellers on there already.
Beautiful. What is the next big step for your business? Where's the future?
Oh my gosh, I could sit here and talk about all the things that I want to do. But the truth is, this has been a huge undertaking. And getting here has been like a big monumental thing for the team. So we're currently basking in this, and I'm not trying to overload anybody with the what ifs. I will say that if you are interested in the future of cncfiles.com and you're somebody who wants to be a seller on there, upload 10 files to your account, and then you'll get invited to the Secret Sellers Club, where we will be going over a lot of the future things that I would like to exist on the site and how we would like to be able to do those. Because currently we have the ability for people to be able to post their own projects and be able to link their files to their listings, right? So if you make a file, you can show, hey, I made this file, buy it over here. You have the ability for them to be able to sell their files, and then we've got their ability for them to be able to do one-on-ones, which is a lot. I thought that that's really what we wanted to start off with on the site. And there's a lot of other things that we can do with this. So without overwhelming people with, tons of different stuff, we really wanted to start with those core 3 things.
Awesome. Back up to the top here. Do you have tutorials on the end-to-end process from buying the file to a finished project?
No, not currently. And that's a great idea. I honestly have been so swamped with us making the site that for some reason, that very simple thing that I should be doing right now has not yet been done. So thank you. I will be working on that. I think that that'll be a very simple thing. I will be coming out with a video next month about showcasing makers files, not our files at all, but 10 files on the site that I really like. And I'll be cutting those out in a video. And I think that that's a really great thing to do, is to be able to jump on there and show the entire process of start to finish. So thank you.
Awesome. I will say I should have filmed the purchasing process. I filmed just the, okay, let's see how it is pulling this file in type of deal. Mm-hmm. For my video and running through how the cut file worked for me and so on. But I skipped that beginning part there.
Yeah. I mean, people like details.
Yep.
Who is
your biggest competitor?
So I know it sounds silly, but I think that the most people traditionally have uploaded their files to Etsy. And I do not think that Etsy cares one bit about CNC files whatsoever. So for me to say that Etsy is a competitor, it's almost like, the ant yelling at the giant, right? It's like the giant doesn't care about CNC files. They make it as as appeasing as possible to be able to upload a digital product onto their site because it doesn't really make a lot of sense for them. So when it concerns people who are currently offering an experience like we are, I don't think there's anybody else out there. But I do know that there are a ton of people and businesses that do sell CNC files, either on Shopify stores or Wix stores and, a lot of creative places. And I've looked into every single one of those options, and I don't think that any of them can offer the capabilities for being able to not only offer your file formats, but also find the correct file formats for CNC users. So I don't really know currently if we have like a competitor. This is all new.
Okay. So I know we've talked about how, there's always going to be people out there stealing files. But do you guys have any sort of safeguard in there for yourselves to keep from your files being resold?
So that's always going to be a really big thing. There are ways to be able to do it. Those ways are expensive and intrusive and create a lot of walls. So the ways exist, but I don't know if the user purchasing that file is really going to have a great experience unlocking that file to get to that process. Yes, there are ways that you can stamp your reliefs with your actual logo and stuff. We don't want to do that to people. I've purchased files like that have reliefs that have the creator's logo on it. And I really didn't like that. So we are specifically not doing things like that. I would say that if you're really worried about it, just put your logo on everything, the file names, not the actual files themselves, but any kind of data that you control, put your logo in, put your business name in, put any kind of notes. The really cool thing about Carveco and Vectric files is you can create notes in the file that don't even carve. You can just be like, hey, here's a note and talking about things. People love that kind of stuff. So I would say just if you're making things and you're selling a few files, come up with a system that you feel like is really useful, that if you did see your file somewhere else, you could identify it. There's a lot of files that I have that I know very weird quirks about them that I've seen other people sell. And I have addressed them on Etsy being like, that's my file because of this. And, it's as awkward as it gets, but sometimes you just have to do things to make sure that you can identify it.
Scott, it sounds like you need to get on cncfiles.com and look into being a seller there. This might be your better answer. You know what? It's not. It might be. It is. It is.
Thank you.
I'll just put it out there. It is. And to answer this question, do you have file setup instructions?
Yes. So thank you very much, Cody. All of our files are toolpaths using Cadence Manufacturing. And if you do not make those bets from IDC Woodcraft. So I have thought a lot about how we have our instructions set up. And we've got a very, very simple PDF. There's lots of bright colors. It's really fun, so that anybody can look at it and very quickly visually understand what's happening in that file and what they need to do in order to achieve really great results. So once again, if you're brand new here, go over to cncfiles.com, create an account. You get 1 free credit so that you can download any one of our files, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about, so that you can find a file that really interests you, that you actually want to take out to your machine and cut, which is why we make files. We want people to actually use them. And you can see the detail that we put in, and more importantly, the things that we don't include. We don't just overwhelm users. We have exactly what you need to be able to get things set up. So if you do want just the SVG instructions, we can tell you, here's what we did in order to get really great results. Thanks, Cody.
Awesome. Do you offer in-person courses, or would you be willing to come to Canada to teach a course to veterans if they pay your expenses and time?
Today was my 8-week-old baby boy's doctor appointment. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Thank you very much. That's incredibly gracious. I've had a few people over the course of me being on YouTube that want me to go places and be able to teach. And I've done a bit of that virtually, and I have never really gone anywhere physically in order to do that. Except for there is a Carveco user group happening in Atlanta at the very end of August, where I'm going to be having an entire talk, and I'm going to be down there for 2 days. So if you do want in-person stuff, Carveco, Atlanta, it's great. Use a group. But I will say that if you are looking for like much more of a one-on-one thing, which I know a ton of people are, that's also one of the very frustrating things, is because a lot of people just really want somebody to be like, hey, this is how to do this. And that's awesome. I did too. My first email that I ever sent to Carveco was, how can I hire somebody just to do a one-on-one call with me to teach me how to do this? Which is why we set up our instructors over on cncfiles.com, so that you can purchase time with somebody and get that one-on-one that you're really looking for. So I would suggest that anybody who's looking for that thing, head on over there. You can literally find an expert right now. There are people that are available that you can just purchase time with them. Everything's very upfront. There's a whole lot of standards, and we really want that process to be as simple and safe for everybody involved, and just making sure that everybody has a really great time. So for me, it's not in the immediate cards, but if you do specifically want to see me talk, it'll be down in Atlanta at the end of August.
Awesome. And Julianne has also linked that below.
Nice.
Are all the files sold with commercial licenses?
Ours are all. So if you buy a credit file, it comes with a commercial license. If you really want to know what the commercial license is, scroll all the way down into the footer and click on commercial license, and it will just show you everything that you want to know. And I made it really, really simple so that anybody can see in very large green blocks, this is what you can do. Red blocks, this is what you can't do. The short and sweet of it is, if you have our files, you can sell the physical object as much as you want. Sell it in Target. I don't care. I want people to use our files to sell really, really cool stuff. So if you're selling, you don't have to be bound by that. That is what we do. That's what we offer. We want people to be able to purchase our files and know that they can actually go out there and sell the physical product, because I believe in people going and selling in local stores and markets and being able to make a little bit of extra money. I want to be able to make sure that people don't have to look over their shoulder when using our files. If you're a seller, you can offer a commercial license if you'd like to, but you also don't have to if you don't want to. I highly suggest offering a commercial license, because you will get significantly more sales if people don't feel like they have to stop with that. Commercial license is something that's very interesting, that I think that a lot of people are, I don't know, sometimes abusing things. And I've also kind of seen it as a lock on a screen door, where it keeps the honest people out. But the people who aren't, like, how would you, I don't know. There's a lot around commercial licenses, but we've got a lot of stuff making sure that you know that if you come and buy one of our credit files, one of our house files that we make, that you can make the physical product and sell that, and sell as many as you want. We want you to make money.
Awesome. What did it take to build the website?
Everything. Cody, you got to update your YouTube profile picture.
Yeah.
So it took a lot. We've got a team of people that are actually making the files, and then we went through and got a development team to be able to develop the site. It has been a lot of back and forth. It's been months of work. I mean, I could bore you all with all the little tiny nitty-gritty details, but we wanted to be able to create a site where people could use it the way that they wanted to. Normally, when somebody buys a CNC machine, they have no idea or desire to be able to sell their files or instruct people. They specifically just want to go out, get a file, and have a fun little cut on a weekend and say, haha, I made this with my CNC machine, right? That is the average normal person. After a few years, maybe you end up buying your own CNC software. Maybe you end up actually creating your own stuff. Maybe you might want to sell. So our site exists so that regardless of where you're at in your maker journey, you can use it the way that you want to and have a really great time on the site. So that took a long time for us to develop what it looks like for a user to be able to have a profile and be able to, in the same profile, purchase stuff, but also sell stuff and also instruct, and make sure that people know that you do not have to be a member. But if you are a member, it does open up a ton of doors. If you're just now joining us, this is launch month, and at the very end of May, we are ending our launch promotions. It's the best deal that we're ever going to run on memberships. The coupon is auto applied at checkout, so you don't even have to remember anything, but that ends at the very end of May. So you can check out cncfiles.com/launch, and it'll run over all of the really cool deals and stuff that we've got going on. And a really big thing that I'm just now talking about tonight that developers are currently working on is if you get Maker Pro Plus Annual, you get unlimited file downloads on the site. So we'll be updating the site in the next few days to make sure that that's all shown and people can really understand that. But right now the site does not reflect that. But I will gladly, loudly, proudly tell you that that is going to be something. So if you do want to be a member, it is by far the cheapest way to be able to do that. Maker Pro Plus is going to be the unlimited plan, but only for annual, not for monthly. Oh, I'm talking so much.
I'm throwing in links. You got to drink every time. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say we're gonna have to buzz through these last ones for everybody that's joining us or has joined us in the past 10-15 minutes. We did stop starring questions about 9 o'clock. If we can rapid fire through these last ones, then we may be able to bring yours in before we do our nice little giveaway. Yes.
Do my best.
Giveaway. Yep. I'm not going to say what, because there are too many people with expectations. So we'll just save it. You guys have to stay tuned in for this.
Giving away 3 alt mills.
Ooh.
We're not.
But
I forgot I was muted from blowing my nose.
I know, you just kind of disappeared. I was like, oh Lord, I hope she has a tissue.
Yeah. I was just happy I got the mute on this time.
I did see one thing that I want to touch on. Somebody said, does the price carry on with renewal next year? Yes. Right now, if you become a member during launch month, that 30% off, regardless if you're doing monthly or annual, is grandfathered to your account, and you will keep that same renewal price as long as you maintain membership. So that doesn't work if you upgrade to a different one later. So if you get Maker and then you decide you want to go to Maker Pro in 3 months, that 30% does not carry on to that one. But as long as you maintain membership with the specific thing that you get during launch month, it will maintain.
Awesome. Are you familiar with TPA CAD for files?
No, but I'll take a look.
Everybody's taking notes tonight.
I'm so old school when it concerns notes. I don't even use my computer. Look, I've got a big whiteboard with just magnets behind me.
Same way. This is my fourth notebook full of IDC stuff. I'm getting ready to go on notebook number 5. It's a lot.
You can find her entire IDC journey in those books.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh yeah, it was a piece of wood that flew back from the saw, not the saw blade itself.
Another safety PSA.
Yeah, the things are better.
All right. Is there an easy way on your website to distinguish between CNC and laser files?
We don't have any color-coded system right now. The best way to be able to do that is to go onto the files page and then search through. So you can search through just CNC files. You can search just through laser files. And that's up for the uploader to be able to denote that. But that's actually a good call. Maybe in the future we'll do some type of color coding.
Awesome. Hi guys, I have a question for you. When I was doing the spoil board, I was doing my dry run, but where the tool is on G-Sender compared to where it actually is, how do I get it zeroed out?
So I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, but I would physically move the bit to the location that you want your origin, that you've already set your origin in your software, and then zero your machine out from there, your X, your Y, and then your Z. That's what I would do. So if you're seeing a visual that's different than your machine, I might even just reset it. But that's what I would do, is physically make sure that it goes to the location first and then zero things out.
Yep. All right. Are they completed projects or are there components like filigree?
Oh, so we have a lot of work ahead of us. So right now we're working on mainly just completed projects. We've got a lot of vector libraries when it concerns designs and different things that you use vector libraries for. So we wanted to be able to set up the site so that you can sell the types of files that you want to. But right now, the majority of the files that we do are just fully complete projects.
Awesome. And we are hitting near the end here, but I am going to reiterate who we have here. We have Hamilton Dilbeck from cncfiles.com. If you've missed the show, it will be available on the IBC Woodcraft YouTube tomorrow with all the questions and answers. So if you've missed if you've missed the show, if you had a question that we didn't get to, it was likely asked earlier on. So just go rewatch it tomorrow, and we'd be happy to bring Hamilton back on hopefully again, and we'll get more questions answered.
Heck yeah.
All right. Do you have files for beginners to make handy tools and props, etc., to use with CNC projects, i.e. something beyond parts trays?
Yeah. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff, and we're coming out with new stuff all the time. So the way that our designers work is in batches. So it's way easier to be able to focus on a specific type of project and be able to make a lot of variants of that and then move on to the next type. So we do have waves of projects that come out, and we're working on how we release those things so it doesn't look like we're only releasing dog ornaments. But we do have a ton of files on there, and the stuff that I know is going to be coming out, there's a lot. And we're already, right now, if our designers all stopped working, we would be able to upload files for the next 7 months. So we've got a lot of stuff, and it's always coming out. So yeah, we'll have parts trays and stuff like that. But I mean, workshop stuff is always searched for. So the more workshop stuff we make, the more like blogs we'll make showing how to be able to find those things. So the easiest way is to go on to the files page, look at the categories, and look in, I forget what it's exactly called, but maybe it's just work holding. But yeah, click in the categories to be able to find exactly what you're looking for.
Awesome. It seems that an Aspire CRV word version of Aspire matters. Even amongst my own PCs, I can open a CRV that was made by a newer version. How is that dealt with?
That's the individual seller. So that is one of the fun things about Vectric, is that they version gatekeep, meaning that if a file was made in Vectric 13 and somebody has Vectric 11, they can't use that file. So that is something that we just are very cautious with and let people know. And, you know, if you're selling specific CRV files, know that you should expect that not everybody is going to have the same version as you. I know that there are specific ways to be able to quote unquote downgrade or use a different version of yours. We make ours in 11.5. So that normally suits most people. But if you've got the latest, greatest version, expect people to pop up and say, I don't have that latest, greatest version. And there are ways around it.
Absolutely. If I buy a file off your site, do I also get the right to sell the product I make with it?
Any physical products made with the site or made with the files, you definitely can sell.
Okay, if you sell your file, will it be the file only, or can you post examples of them in use? And is there a cap on how many pictures you can upload?
So if you're uploading your file, yes, definitely post the physical product that you made. And I think we've got 10 pictures that you can upload, maybe even more. We want people to see exactly what that file is meant for. We would love to be able to cut out every single one of our files because it would sell way more because people want to see the physical product created with that file rather than a render of that file. But because we make so many files, it would be somebody's full-time job, and the amount of material that we would go through alone just creating those files, creating those projects would just be, that's a huge undertaking by itself. So we don't do that. But if you are selling your own projects on the site, I highly recommend to cut them out, take tons of pictures of it, and then be able to upload that on your listing so that people can really see what that file is going to do. It'll sell your file way more than just a render.
Absolutely. We already answered that. Ooh, when is the first Secret Sellers Club meeting?
So it'll probably be late June. Right now we don't have like a ton of details because I am asking a few people to make sure that the time is being cared for and is valuable. And I want to make sure that if you're showing up to that, that it is packed full of information that is causing you to make good changes, right? So end of June.
Awesome. Can you make bundles of files or just single files?
Both. So the way we have our upload process is, let's say that you wanted to, I don't know, sell that little banana saver over there. You can upload just the SVG, or you can upload also like the Carveco file. So you have 2 files, and then once you have 2 files, 2 file formats available for that listing, you can choose to bundle it. So maybe your SVG is $5, maybe your Carveco file is $10. You could also have a bundle option for $11. So if somebody spends $11, they can get your different file formats. For us, that's like 5 different file formats and then the bundle. But we use that a lot, and people really like the bundle option because they like to be able to have it in a lot of different file formats. So you can do either. So once again, if you're brand new to selling files, don't let that intimidate you. Just go and do a SVG and a PDF together, and that be your file format that you offer. But if you do offer a ton more formats, people like options.
Do you have a way to gather feedback from the files purchased? Suggestions, likes, problems from the customers?
So if they're directly for us, like if you purchased a credit file and you had any type of feedback, let us know. We also have a review system. So if you purchase that file, when you go and download that file, you'll be able to see that you can leave a review. That's a great way to let other people know exactly your experience that you have with that. And if you're purchasing a file from another seller, let's say that Liberty is selling a file, you bought that file and you didn't like that file, don't tell me, tell Liberty. It's her business. That's her thing that she's selling, right? So like there is messaging. It's just like Etsy, where you can message the seller. You can talk about things. You can let people know, hey, this didn't really go well for me. And one of the great things that I've known about the CNC community is most people are super lenient about things. They're like, hey, you were supposed to set this up for 1/4 of an inch, but it was set up for 3 inches, and that didn't work out for me. Most people will just reach out and say like, hey, can we fix this? And that's the correct way to do it. But yeah, lots of ways to be able to solve those problems. We wanted to make sure that it wasn't just silence.
Awesome. Question, are there non-credit files too, it seems, or there are non-credit files too?
Yeah, so if you look at credit files, that's pretty much our membership is based on credits. Those credit files.
They're talking about the payment ones. Okay.
Yeah, so you can pay with credits for credit files. Otherwise, everything is just money. So you can pay for our credit files with money or credits. Everybody else is on money. That way that it's very easy to divide things. So if you're a member and you get credits, those are only used for our files, and they can't be used on other people's, just to make sure that everybody's being taken care of. If you do buy 3 creators files, you get a free credit. And there's other cool little kind of like bonuses that I'm hoping to add into the site. So the more you explore the site and the more you do, the more credits that you can just get. So we really want to be able to reward people for going out and purchasing other makers' files.
Awesome. I'm trying to make custom graffiti letter fonts. Do you think custom fonts would be a good fit on your site?
So I've thought about custom fonts a lot, and I could go into this for 4 hours, so I'm not going to. If you do have custom fonts and you know that they're not copyrighted, definitely try and sell them. Just make sure people understand how to use them and what that looks like for them. Carveco and Vectric, you can upload font libraries into it so you can use it for custom text. I think that there is a huge market for that, and it's definitely something you should look into.
Awesome. If I become a seller, I'm from Canada. Would I be paid in Canadian dollars? Do I need a business name, business number, or can we freelance?
Freelance, you can just be an individual, and yeah, you can get paid in Canadian dollars. You will use your home currency. Wherever your bank account is set up is the currency that you'll be paid out in.
Awesome. TPA CAD is a parametric software for cabinet making for Busaletto CNC routers. Okay.
That's cool. Once again, I've got it on my list. I'll look it up later.
Michael, do you have a recommendation, software or program that I can easily put colors on my design so I can see how it looks?
So I know that in Carveco, you can simulate your cuts. So once you assign your toolpaths, you can simulate it and you can see. You can also simulate with color, but I think you need Carveco Maker Plus in order to simulate with color, where essentially if you're creating pockets, you can assign different colors to those so you can really see exactly what your tool's doing. I'm not sure how that works in Vectric, but that's fairly standard for a lot of things to be able to simulate in color.
Awesome. And I know in Vectric, yeah, you can simulate a lot of things, including a couple different colored plastics and such.
Mm.
I'm looking for a place to sell projects, plans, and even the parts for assembly for flat shipping. Is that possible on your site?
Plans, yes. We cannot sell anything physical. We do not allow anything physical to be sold on the site. So if you got plans and it has to do with digital fabrication in the makerspace, bring it on.
All right. Can I upload and sell inlay files or just 3D reliefs?
Of course you can. Yeah, anything that has to do with CNC.
Do you guys currently have any inlay files?
We do not. It's something that we've toyed around with a lot, and there is a lot of stuff that goes into it. A lot. So if you do make inlay files, I would highly suggest that you give a lot of information with that. So it's not something that we do yet offer. It's something that we are considering, but I won't say that it is definitely like 2 weeks away and then all of a sudden there will be a lot. There's a huge market for it. There's also a lot of things that can go wrong. And one of our big things we create for quiet. So that is a later thing once we understand how to tackle it best. But not right now. But you should.
All right. We've got 2 more questions here. Midnight Sun Woodworks. I have seen on other sites great looking things like a deer, but it would be impossible to carve out. Are your files all actually carvable?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who use a lot of AI images in order to try and sell you something that isn't a thing. We don't do that. So we make sure that the things that we are selling are actually carvable. So yes, we even have some RLF and STL files specifically that are deer, and they are meant to be carved due to the way that they were made and their draft angles and everything. There's no craziness about them.
There's not crazy curves that you're expecting some random 5th axis to come in and carve out.
Not here. Maybe one day people offer 5th axis CNC files on our site. That'd be cool. You can do it.
All right. And from Sam from Coleman Designs Incorporated, where do you see cncfiles.com 5 years from now? What do you want to see?
I would love to see like 100,000 files on the site. I know that sounds like a little bit crazy, but I genuinely believe that it is possible. I would love to see 6 figures of files on the site and it just be like a thriving place where people are like, where do I get this? And their automatic thought is cncfiles.com because it is just the place to sell them. Thanks, Sam.
All right, Miss Julianne.
Now is the time. All right, you guys. So, contrary to popular opinion, we will not be giving away Garrett's alt mill tonight. We will not be giving away an alt mill, nor will we be giving away 3 alt mills. I am so sorry to disappoint you.
I'm also disappointed.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
What about this? Job at IDC.
Oh, job at IDC. I was like, Jobat? What's Jobat? It's like, actually, hold on. That's kind of funny. Before we start this giveaway, I must nice little 3D printed jiggler here.
Hey.
Yeah. So you wouldn't. This was in an Easter egg from past Easter, so just had to show that little guy off. All right, you all. Thank you for hanging in there with us tonight. We covered a lot of information, and now we are going to our very muchly awaited giveaway, if I can get it to pull up here. So, darn it. So welcome to all of you newbies. If you are new here, we appreciate you joining us. This is a very easy to do giveaway. The phrase that you see on your screen and scrolling below is what you will enter in the YouTube chat. I know that we had some kind of problems with the YouTube chat showing ads. It does that to me too. So I will look into it, but pop over there. You only have to enter it once. And this will be for some CNC file credits. However many Hamilton is willing to offer, we have had a background donation of, yes, we will double the amount that Hamilton wants to offer. And we can guess who that came from.
100,000.
Yep. So Greg at STL Woodworking is doubling Hamilton's offer for however many credits we're giving away tonight. And he says to message him, and he will.
That's very kind.
He will do it, yeah.
All right. So since he's willing to do that, let's go ahead and do 2 winners, and we'll do 25 credits piece.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So in order, if you're a winner, make sure to get in touch with me. Make sure to send an email over to hello@cncfiles.com. And if for some reason you don't hear from me, send an IDC Woodcraft email and be super angry about it. Be like, he's not responding. Don't be angry. But that is by far the best way. In order to get your credits, you will need to have an account. So if you're a winner, make sure you create an account and then send me an email that you created your account with, and then I'll make sure to drop the credits into your account.
Yep. And I will be recording the names of the winners just in case. I know you guys are used to the routine of contacting us, but
I mean, if that's the routine, go for it and contact y'all, and then y'all can let me know. Either way is fine.
One way or another, we will get you guys your credits. So just to refresh my memory, a credit is worth exactly how many files, or does it vary?
So credits are really cool because you can pretty much use them to download the format that you want. So if you went and got our vector libraries, we have around 40 on the site right now. And those each have 50 files in them. You could also use those for any of our reliefs. You can use them for our projects. So a single credit could get you a Carveco or Vectric toolpath project or an SVG. So that 25 pretty much will get you 25 of our listings.
Very cool. Very cool. Definitely something that we don't want to pass up tonight for sure. It's a good way to get your toes dipped into the CNC file site there.
Just go to create an account now. Just be safe.
How many people are here? I don't see how many people are here.
We've got about 322 on right now.
Wow. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
I have 216 likes at my last update. So if you're entering the giveaway, I feel like you should hit that like button.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
I feel like...
Also, if you do not win, we're going to be doing some giveaways at the very end of the month as well. At the last Saturday of the month over on my channel, for just type in Hamilton Dilbeck, click on live, you'll see upcoming live, and you can set a reminder there as well, where we're going to be doing some giveaways as well.
And all these links that we have mentioned will be in the description of this video. We will not leave you hanging on those.
Caribou coffee, Hamilton's alt mill. It's heavy. I don't know if you want to be able to take mine. It's heavy. It's loaded down with stuff.
I think we had an offer of we'll come pick up, no need for shipping. It's like I know that scrolled by at one point. All right, we got 209 people. All right, we'll let this run for another minute or so, you guys. Make sure you get that entered.
Thanks from Joe. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on the show.
Heck yeah.
I always like hanging out with you guys. It's never a dull moment.
I know. It was a blast. And y'all make it so easy for me, too. I don't have to do anything. Like any of the YouTube background stuff, I just hang out. It's great.
It's like it's kind of a night off for you a little bit.
Awesome. And I appreciate it.
Especially with that little one. My goodness.
Yes. A bundle of joy.
All righty, you guys. So we have 210 people entered. We are drawing 2 winners. I was gonna say, Starhawk, you got a
You've
just
got a few seconds there, Starhawk.
All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and pop on over to our lovely giveaway screen. Very slowly, giving you all the, just a small amount of time to get those entries in there. All right. Oh, Liberty, is it you or is it Garrett that does the drum roll sound when we do this? Do. Oh, you guys both do? Okay, because all I do is hear it. I can't see what's going on. There's no visual for me besides the screen. So,
yep.
All right, 213 people entered. We will hit this draw button. Do not get excited. Well, you can get excited.
Until you see the confetti.
Our winners will be confettied. So here we go for our first one. Drawing it out.
I should have entered.
If you enter, we get to draw again. All right.
Hey!
Ed, CNC router. Perfect. Congratulations, Ed.
Either send Julianne an email or myself. You can send me an email over at hello@cncfiles.com, and we'll get you set up. Just make sure that you already have an account over on cncfiles.com and let me know the email that you use for that account, and I will put the credits in your account.
Yep.
Awesome.
Congrats.
We ready for winner number 2?
Ed.
Here we go for our second
more entries. Awesome.
218. All right, you all. Here we go. There we go.
Hey! Congratulations. Once again, hello@cncfiles.com. Make sure you already have an account, and I'll put the credits into your account. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love the giveaways. It's so much fun.
I know. I was like, I want to do it again, but no. we said 2. We said 2.
We'll save those for later. Perfect.
Contain my enthusiasm, or for the end of the month. There we go. Maybe IDC will sponsor some of the giveaways you're doing.
Somehow. Yeah. We'll just start showing up every single week giving stuff away. I guess y'all already do that though, right?
We do.
Wow.
All right, Lou and Ed, that hello@cncfiles.com is your contact. If you happen to miss that, you can always pop over to our IDC Woodcraft contact us page, and I will get you guys in touch.
Perfect.
So, yep.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, Hamilton. It has been a pleasure having you on. Thank you for sharing cncfiles.com, for creating it and giving us CNC creators a space to come to add files to take files from. Thank you for sharing all of your knowledge around the files and for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. This is always a blast. And huge thanks to everybody who's become a member tonight. This is awesome. I sincerely appreciate it. So right now is the best time to become a member. cncfiles.com ends the end of May. The launch promotion, I guess I should say.
Yep. Don't forget to become a CNC member and go over to Hamilton Dilbeck's YouTube as well to follow him. Subscribe to his channel to get more updates.
A lot of good information there. Now we got a last 2 thank yous to throw out there. Stephen Holtgren with the $25 of Hamilton Fabulous. He will definitely join CNC Files. And we also have George Dykes that threw in another $10 for the last wrap up of our show this evening.
Very cool.
Thank you to everybody who joined us, who hung in there with us. Thank you to Hamilton. Thank you to Liberty. Shout out to Boss Man, because I know he's out there somewhere watching.
Yep. We run us from the sidelines. Thank you to Greg for matching the giveaway tonight. And thank you to Julianne for always being right there for us, getting those links, getting those contacts, and keeping us in line. So
letting you have those drink breaks.
Hydrated.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.